All right, Shalom. This is Brother Gabar, the Lions Den Camp, located here in Jacksonville, Florida. First and foremost, before I hop into this lesson, I would like to give all praises to the Most High and their true Paleo-Hebrew names and in the Paleo-Hebrew tone. So with that, I would like to say, Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Bahashim, Ha Rakah Kodash Ma'amaf. Double honors to the apostle and elders of GMS. Double honors to my elder as well, Aharwan Ben Yasharallah. And shalom to you brothers and sisters pushing and keeping this truth and faith and sincerity into the end, man. All right. So this kind of just going to be a current events, slash lesson going into, prophecy of World War III and, these different things that's happening that's ultimately leading up to the event of World War III. All right. So as you can see, this article reads, it says, the one thing the U.S. fears after Iranian president's death, all right? And it says, the Biden administration is closely watching how Iran reacts to the sudden death of its president, expecting the regional status quo to hold while still weary that one allegation could escalate tensions with Israel, man. All right, so just remember that one allegation could escalate tensions with Israel. So just remember allegations, because it's another article I'm about to pull up after I get one more point in this one, man. So, the U.S. And the Biden administration, those that's leading this country right now, man, they scared, and they on their toes, in regards to, this the death of Iran's president, due to that helicopter crash. And there's a lot of speculation and a lot of things going around and being spoken on about what really happened. The elder of this camp and the bishop of this camp have done lessons on this topic, and, other brothers as well. So it's a lot going on, man. But just remember, they fear allegations could basically destabilize or increase tension, man. Which is ultimately they fear World War III, man. These nations coming together and coming against America and destroying this place by 200 million nuclear missiles, man. As it is prophesied in the scriptures. All right. Oh, and this is the next point I wanted to get. It says, as events unfolded Sunday, U.S. officials waited to see if Iran would blame Israel instead of saying it had failed to protect its president, whether due to human error or the use of an old helicopter. All right, so that's another point I just want you to remember. They fear allegations, right, and backlash coming on Israel and the U.S. And also, they fear whether Iran is going to blame Israel or take accountability per se, right? And whether this quote-unquote accident, allegedly, was due to human error or the use of an old helicopter. All right. That was just the main point on this article, and there's just one more I wanted to get, because both of those things that they fear, Russia already came out and made it's right here. All right, so this is it says, Russia says after Rossi crash that U.S. undermined aviation safety with sanctions, man. All right, so it says, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov commented on the helicopter crash that killed Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi on Tuesday that U.S. sanctions had worsened aviation safety. Iranian media reported that images from the site showed the U.S. made Bell 212 helicopter on which Rossi was traveling slammed into a mountain peak, although there was no official word on the cause of the crash. All right, and that's allegedly, man, because like I said, there's a few things going around on what actually brought that helicopter down, man. So it says, 1 second. It says, Iran was a major buyer of Bell helicopters under the Shah before the 1979 Islamic Revolution, though the exact origin of the aircraft that crashed was not clear. Decades of sanctions have made it hard for Iran to obtain parts or upgrade its aircraft. All right. The Americans disown this, but the truth is that other countries against which the United States announced sanctions do not receive spare parts for American equipment, including aviation. All right, and aviation is, planes, helicopters, aircrafts. All right, and it says, we are talking about deliberately causing damage to ordinary citizens who use these vehicles, and when spare parts are not supplied, this is directly related to a decrease in the level of safety, man. All right. So I just wanted to get this article in combination with the other, because one of the main things that America fears right now, as stated in that article, is allegations being thrown at Israel and the U.S., that somehow, some way, they had a part in the hand in that helicopter crash that killed the Iranian president. And then in the same day, this was earlier today, man, Russia officially came out with this allegation, right, pointing the finger at America, man, that by the use of their sanctions and these things that they put on these other nations, it's hard to maintain those American-made aircrafts, man, because they don't have the proper parts or the proper tools, man, right? So in the previous article before, the Biden administration stated whether Iran would take blame and just that they failed to protect their president, or that it was due to an old helicopter, man. All right, and in this article, Russia is basically saying, man, those helicopters they unsafe because they old, man. They can't get new parts. You know what I'm saying? They can't get spare parts to upgrade and maintain the maintenance of those aircrafts, man, that the Iranians, bought from the US, man. They basically say the US is directly responsible, man, for not being able to for not supplying those parts, man. All right. And right here, I just get it again. It says, we are talking about deliberately causing damage to ordinary citizens who use these vehicles, and where spare parts are not supplied, this is directly related to a decrease in the level of safety, man. So Russia is making an allegation and pointing the finger at the U.S., that to an extent is their fault, that helicopter went down, man. So I just thought that was kind of funny how basically two of the things America fears, Russia came out and made a statement on two of those very things, Khan. All right, so Khan, this is the book of Revelations, chapter 11, and I'm going to start at verse 12, because ultimately, it's a lot of speculations and allegations and things that's circulating, this helicopter crash and the killing of this Iranian president. But all of these things and all of these events that's taking place, amongst these countries and world leaders, is ultimately building up and leading to World War III. All right, and Salaki, I didn't get it, but also on that first article, when it talks about the U.S. fears, at the end of that article, one of those administrators make a statement, and is in quotes. It says, "Is this how World War III starts?" And that's ultimately what this is leading up to, man. All of these events among these different countries and leaders of these countries, man, is ultimately the Lord, steering their minds and their hearts, gradually to the event of World War III, man. And America ultimately being destroyed by those 200 million nuclear missiles. All right, so this is the book of Revelations, chapter 11, and I'm going to start at verse 12. It says, "And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up into heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them," man. All right, so this is, talking about the elect, man, being called up into those chariots, hearing that voice of the Lord saying, "Come up hither," man, and them ascending up to heaven in a cloud, and that cloud are the chariots. And it says, and their enemies beheld them, man. All right, because 2/3 and these other nations and peoples upon the earth, they're going to see the elect being taken up, man, ultimately to be preserved out of the said judgment that's about to befall this place. All right, Salakia. In verse 13 it says, "And that same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to Yahweh of heaven," man. All right, the God of heaven, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. So in that same hour, as the elect are being taken up and being called into those chariots, man, in that same time frame, those missiles are gonna get shot over on this place, America, man. All right, the earth is gonna quake, man. All right, the scripture tell you how the earth shall shake to and fro, roughly paraphrasing, man. And that's going to be from those missiles, those 200 million nuclear missiles, warheads, hitting this place and ultimately destroying this place, man, turning America into the lake of fire. All right, and it says, and the 10th part of the city fell. All right, so all of America is going to be destroyed, man. And it says, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. All right, and that's 7,000. That's a complete number, man. All right, the Lord is going to get that complete number, man. All right, of those that's going to be destroyed in this place, America, man. 2/3 of our people, the wicked, Esau as well, and also these other nations, man. Everybody that chose not to follow after the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man, amongst Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, but these other nations are going to take part in that destruction as well, and primarily Esau, the so-called Caucasian race. And it says, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the God of heaven, Yahweh Shemi Hawashah. So even that hopeful elect, man, they're going to be affrighted, they're going to be startled, right? But ultimately, they're going to be protected and preserved out of the said judgment that's about to befall this place, man, i.e. 200 million nuclear missiles in the midst of World War III being shot on this place. All right, and the main point is here in verse 14. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, man. All right. So the third woe cometh quickly, man. That third war, all right, that great judgment, man. All right, because that's what woe goes into, judgment, man. That great judgment, it cometh quickly, and all of these events and like I said, amongst these other countries and their leaders and these allegations and finger pointing and so on and so forth is ultimately leading up to that third woe, man. World War III coming quickly. All right, it's happening gradually, but on a grand scale, man, it's coming quickly, man. All right, the Lord is shaking things up. Prophecies playing out left and right, man. Every day you're seeing news articles pop up of different prophetic things happening upon the earth. All right, the third woe cometh quickly. All right, which is again ultimately all these events and things are leading up to, man, is World War III. And the returning of our Lord Yahweh Shah, with the host of heaven, the chariots, the angels, amongst those 200 million nuclear missiles, man, destroying this place. All right. And Khan, man, with that, I'm going to say shalom.